Welcome to the Ladies Kickin' Ass podcast, your source of unstoppable energy, inspiring stories, and expert coaching. I'm your host, Tanya Wilson, and today's a quickie, but a goodie, so let's just dive right in. Hi, badasses. Welcome back to another episode of Ladies Kickin' Ass. I'm so thankful that you're here with me today because I have a topic on my mind and on my heart today that I just want to share with you guys. It's something that I have learned over the years with my septic company really can make or break a service-based business. And the topic that I would love to discuss today is the difference between being a leader and being the boss. Now, I know there's all kinds of cute terminology around being a boss babe or the lady boss or something like that. And I don't think that anybody actually thinks that that's a bad thing. It's pretty fucking cool, actually, that you're a boss babe and that you're doing stuff. And we refer to our ladies in the community the same way. What I'm talking about is really defining the difference between leadership and bossing people around. Now, I know sometimes it's very difficult to decide what the difference is between those things. Like, am I a boss or am I a leader? And do I need to be one or the other at different points and times in my business? And I'm here to tell you that the more I have leaned into being a leader and really encouraging people on my team to also go to leadership training or obtain leadership skills, the dynamic of my entire company has changed. There are fundamental differences between being a leader and being a boss. A leader really inspires and empowers. They raise people up with zero threat to their business, to anything. Well, a boss often commands and controls people. We often hear people say, I need a manager so that he or she can control these people. I'm just going to give you flat out my experience with this and many other entrepreneurs that I talk to. You can't manage people. You can manage the behaviors of these people, but that's why mindset is so incredibly important. And being a boss and trying to teach mindset to people is very, very difficult. Mindset, I truly believe, inside of a company is transferred from the leader of that company, from the leader of that division, from the leader. Many times people kind of talk negatively about their boss. Rarely do you hear them talk negatively and refer to them as their leader or their leadership team. See where the differences can kind of play out as you start thinking about it. Do you think back on previous jobs that you've had and think like, ugh, my leader was a total jerk? Or do you refer to that person as your boss? Nobody really likes to be bossed around. I think if you're an entrepreneur like myself, I hate being bossed around. That's why I work for myself. It's why I can construct a team of people that I want to work with versus being put on a team that I have to then work with. Now, you may find yourself as somebody that has to work with a bunch of people that maybe there is poor leadership, but something that I would remind you in the difference of being leaderships and bosses, leadership knows no title. I'm going to say that again. Leadership knows no title. You can be an outstanding leader in a restaurant as the person that is cleaning off the tables. Even more so and more impactful than maybe the person that signs the paychecks. And I'll tell you why. Because leadership is often demonstrated. It's not spoken. So when you see somebody kicking ass at their job, maybe it's not even their specific job, but they're out there kicking ass and they're doing a great job at it, it inspires other people to want to be better. No one that is doing more than what you are is ever rocking the boat because they're busy doing other things. They're never criticizing you when they're doing more than you. The critics come from the people sitting back. Like many times I've heard working in the wastewater industry, you're making me look bad. There you go. Oh, look at him again. He's making me look bad. Step up your fucking game if that's how you feel. I don't feel sorry for people like that. I hate that mentality so much. You're making me look bad. The only person making you look bad is you. So if you find yourself kind of struggling with, like, how do I become a leader? How do I become a boss? I want to go over 3 things real quick with you in this quick episode of things to think about in becoming a greater leader or transferring into more of a leadership role within your business, no matter what position you're in. Whether you're the CEO or owner, or you're somebody that just answers the phones. Maybe you're somebody that just cleans the bathrooms. Leadership is demonstrated, and you can change what everybody else experiences by what you choose to do yourself. You can't manage people. You can set a great example for those people that your job description says you're supposed to manage. But unless you're actively doing what you expect from the people you're supposed to be managing, you will never get the respect that you want in that position. You will never get people that will buy in to what you're trying to do. It just will never happen. But one of the greatest things I want you to think about, number 1, is leaders don't pass up an opportunity to make things better. I was listening to Trent Shelton's podcast, which I love so much. It's like going to church for me. And he mentioned this very topic, and I was like, that is so true. Like, a leader never steps over something saying, that's not my job. Do you think it's the leaders or the non-leaders that leave their shopping carts in the parking lot at the grocery store? The leaders are always taking it back. Very interesting. If you see trash on the ground, pick it up. If you see something needs to be fixed, fix it. If everybody on the team had leadership mentality, they would have to get rid of us in order for us not to succeed. Think about that. If everybody was thinking about the team as a whole and not themselves, and really trying to make it better for everybody else, the team would be completely unstoppable. We have to think about those things. How can we, as leaders, show the people on our team that we don't pass up anything? We don't pass up the opportunity to help someone, to make things better. Now, we are not perfect. I am not perfect by a long shot. But when I see things that need to be done, get them done. I'm the owner of my business, and I take out the trash at this place in the community trash areas just as much or more than anybody else does. If the trash needs to go out, I don't look for someone else to take it out for me. It is setting that example to other people. And slowly, you'll see them being like, oh, geez, she even takes the trash out. Maybe I should watch for that. It's beautiful things, and it's a very subtle way to change your team is to demonstrate extreme leadership. Another thing I want you to think about is leaders don't wait for the next person. They know they are the person. Now, this goes right back to what I was saying before. You are the person. You know why? Because you take that on yourself. You don't wait to be asked to do something. No one at my house says, hey, Tanya, could you, take the trash out? Hey, Tanya, could you, mow the lawn? Hey, Tanya, do you think you could do the laundry? No one ever asks me to do anything. Because if I see a need, I just jump in and I get it done. We could do that same stuff, not only in our homes, also in our businesses. We see something needs to be done, let's get it done. Same thing with taking out the trash. It's just so very important. Don't pass up an opportunity to make things better, and don't wait for the next person. Realize that you can do just as much as the next person that you're going to wait for. Which brings me to my third topic, is that leaders don't wait for tomorrow. How many of you at the end of the day, trust me, and that's why I'm going to make this podcast short and sweet today, because I'm trying really hard not to sneeze or cough in the middle of it, because I am feeling under the weather big time today. But I still showed up. I still showed up to record the podcast. I still showed up at work to meet my appointments today. I still showed up and got all my emails done. I still showed up for my kids that need laundry done before I take off later this week. You have to still show up. And no, I'm not saying that rest isn't important, and when you need to take a break, take a break. But don't wait for tomorrow the things that you can do today. How many times do we say, yes, someday I'll get to that? And if you listen to this podcast, you hear me often say, someday is not a day on the calendar. There's calendar right there. No, someday. Today's just as good as tomorrow. Why would I put off what I can get done right now to do it tomorrow? Because do you know how many times we actually get shit done that we say we're going to do tomorrow? We don't. Now, I understand that some things take time, and sometimes you have to push some things off till tomorrow, and that's okay too. But leaders try to get the stuff done that they can get done right away. Leaders are really great too at not procrastinating with things. Many times when you procrastinate, you build this intense internal anxiety, knowing that you have to do something, but you keep putting it off. Being a leader means that you confront those uncomfortable things and you just get the shit done. You just get it taken care of. The impact of leadership styles will completely change your team's dynamics. It will completely change things. I know when I hire guys that come into my business, and I ask the question always in interviews, what is important to you in the leader of this team? And many of them say that you don't yell at me, which always chokes me up because I don't really understand that mentality. I mean, I know that it happens, but I can't imagine yelling at one of my employees or somebody on my team. I just can't even imagine doing that. Except maybe my husband. No, I'm just kidding. Am I? I don't know. I can't imagine that. So I look at these things and I'm like, it's such a low bar, but let's blow their minds and show them what it really means to be a part of a team. Let's show them that I truly mean when I tell you you become part of our work family, that you become part of our work family. Show them that they're more than just a number. That's another thing I hear all the time. I just don't want to be a number. Remember their birthdays. Have a card. Bring a cake. Give them a 6-pack of beer when they walk out the door. Do something so that you can acknowledge them as humans first, as friends first, as people that you deeply care about, and watch your team skyrocket. Watch your team. Invest in your team and your business. They will build your business for you. The number one goal I have this year as the CEO and owner of my company is to invest in amazing people. And I spend a ton of time talking to people. Because if I build a really awesome team and I remove myself from the day-to-day things so that I don't have a to-do list or task list that is 3 feet long every day, but I'm there as a support person for them and a leader for them, they'll do everything else that needs to be done here. I don't need to be doing that. And many of us as leaders or owners of a business need to get the fuck out of our own way. Because many of us think, especially that first hire, I've been there several times, so I know, I get it. That first hire, you're like, no one can do it as good as I can. And you're right. They won't, because they're not you. But they can do it as effectively. They may even be able to do it more efficiently. Are they going to necessarily care about it as much as you are? No. And what I've learned being an entrepreneur for 15 years, sometimes that's a really damn good thing. Because they're not emotionally tied to things in this business like I would be, or like I am. And I think that takes growth in being able to admit that, first of all. Second of all, do something about it. I know I need leadership people on my team to help manage the trucks, manage jobs, manage needs, but not manage and boss people around. Because that's my leadership style. And I want to have a team of leaders that I can sit down and I know that they are an extension of how I would be with these exact same team people, but I am able to now serve a greater good inside of my business because I'm not working in it all the time. I'm working on it with them, which is a massive, massive difference. Now, maybe you're in this situation where you're like, great, Tanya, this sounds awesome. I don't really have any leadership skills. All I know how to do is to be a boss. Get some skills. In the world that we live in today online, you can learn anything you want to. One thing that I always talk about is Growth Day. It is an app. It is a personal development and leadership app that was created by Brendan Burchard. I love Brendan. He is an incredible mentor. He is an incredible coach. I am part of his mastermind group, Ultra, and I have learned so much from not only him and the incredible speakers that we get to listen to and have access to all the time, like Ed Milet, Jamie Kern-Lima, Mel Robbins, Lori Harder, all of these incredible people, Trent Shelton. But it's the other people that are inside of these leadership groups that we go to, these conferences we go to, inside the community, inside of the app, that you can ask questions to and you can learn from. There's so much education and knowledge in that. I will put a link in the show notes. Check it out. You can look at it for free for 2 weeks, and it's like nothing. I mean, even if you have full access to tons and tons, I mean, these people get paid tens of thousands of dollars to train people, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Brendan makes over $1 million coaching people. And you can have access to like everything that's in this app for like $500 a year. And if that's too much for you, I totally understand. But guess what? Professional development is a business write-off. So if you can budget that whatsoever, do that. If not, sign up for the $49 a year program. You get daily motivational and leadership topics that Brendan talks about every morning, and all this other stuff that you get exposure to. Now, each one of the people that are part of that Growth Day app also have leadership programs that you can join. We have leadership programs here within Ladies Kicking Ass. Our membership is going to be launching this spring, and it is going to be incredible. And it's going to be incredibly affordable. And the people that you get to learn from are so incredibly important because they're everyday ladies just like us that have maybe found a few little things and tips and tricks that we can share with you to help elevate your leadership. I think investing in ourselves as women, not only as leaders in our business, but just byproduct of that, is that you demonstrate incredible leadership skills to your kids. You demonstrate incredible leadership skills with your husband or your partner. Incredible leadership skills with your friends and your community. I think there's tons of room for leadership and growth in this area, and I am so incredibly passionate about it. And if anybody has any questions or needs help in any of these areas, I am 1,000% here for it. I would love to help you. When I started investing in myself, leadership, and personal development, my entire life changed. I grew up in a family where people didn't do things like this. I remember listening to Tony Robbins on the TV really late at night when I was a kid. And I don't remember how old I was, but I remember the power in his voice. And I didn't know what the hell he was selling, but it sounded like a better life that I had. And it kind of gave me a little bit of hope. And I would turn on the TV later at night and I would listen to these infomercials. And of course, I didn't have any money to buy it. I think they were cassette tapes at that point, that were personal power tapes. I know that now because I have the entire library of it. When I was able to finally afford to go to a Tony Robbins event, I thought I had made it in life. It was $500, and it was the best money that I ever spent because that was the day, I started to believe in myself. I wasn't waiting for somebody else to do it for me. I knew that I had the power inside myself to get through anything I was going through, to take on any kind of challenge, because failure's not final, and that's where we learn. And when I redefined my relationship with what that looked like in my life and how if I showed up better, I would be a better mom, a better partner, a better leader at work, and a better person, friend, community member, it's kind of hard to turn your back on that. I would love to hear from you if this impacted you today. Things that you would love to work on. I think as a woman who has invested in personal development and leadership training, it is our duty to give back to other women that maybe aren't as far along as we are. One of the greatest things that women say that they lack in being successful in business is mentorship or finding people that will help them. Be that for somebody. Check in on your friends. I have met people through events I have been to that I spent one evening drinking a glass of wine with them, and we continue to still talk. I still continue to text them and ask them how they're doing, even if I shoot them a quick message, text message, DM, something that says, hey, I'm thinking about you today. That's demonstrating leadership. I pray that when I do that, maybe they're having one of those days where they're like, oh my God, somebody was thinking about me today. Maybe they're ready to give up on something and they decide not to because they know that somebody's watching them, waiting for them to succeed. And then they decide not to give up. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's your parents. Maybe it's an old friend of yours. How many of you think about old friends and maybe you still have their phone numbers and you never touch base with them? Shoot them a message. Say, hey, I hope you have an incredible week. It's Monday. Today is the perfect day to do that. Let them know you're thinking about them. I truly feel like as a society, we just don't use the phrase, I love you enough. Think about all the people that you truly, truly love. This doesn't have to be a romantic, sexy kind of love. This doesn't have to be maternal, paternal, family love. I am truly in love with a lot of people that are in my life. People on my team. I love them. They're great people. Now, you might want to watch out for that at work. You might not want to be spouting off to everybody, I love you, because people can take that the wrong way. But you can show them acts of kindness. You can show them acts of love. Write them on a note and let them know how great they're doing. I use a program in my business. It's called Assembly, which is a peer-to-peer recognition system where anybody in the business can hand out points that they can cash in for gift cards every time somebody sees somebody do something kick-ass. Then there's not a lot of pressure on me to be the only person doing this. I have 7 people on this team. All 7 people can recognize each other. It's really freaking cool. Find ways. There's other programs besides Assembly, and I am no way affiliated with that. I just use them because they're simple. I think there's incredible opportunity to just be better people and be better examples and provide better leadership. But it all starts with us. It starts in our heart, and it is a decision that we make that everyone that comes on our team is going to be a leader. That we don't sacrifice that morale or that culture at our business just because somebody can do the work. I would love to challenge you today to find a leadership platform where you can learn from. I would highly recommend that you do some research on this. Read a leadership book. Find ways to connect with other women that you admire their leadership skills. Ask them to mentor you. Ask them to share their secrets with you, share their practices with you, whatever you want to call them. I love it when people ask me for help. I love it when people want to know some of the secrets of our success here and what we've done to build an incredible business that is literally like 0.02% of women have a business like we've been able to create here. That's really freaking cool. And I will tell you first and foremost that I surely did not do this myself. But what I did do and what I chose is to believe in and treat the people that work in my business really well. That will help build one of those 0.02% businesses. It will also help you at home. Because I know, ladies, we are so much more than just what we do here at work. I know we talk a lot about our work stuff here with the Ladies Kicking Ass community, but, being an awesome leader at home is incredible. And sometimes I hear women say, well, I just have little ones at home. Trust me, they're watching you. I love Ed Milet's phrase, more is caught than taught. And it's very true. And if you don't believe that, just keep doing what you're doing and then see how your teenagers respond to that. Because they will become a mirror image of what is mirrored for them. Show them what it looks like to be a leader. It makes me so proud that my kids want to be in student council and they get notes that get sent home about how helpful they are. To me, that means a hell of a lot more to me than getting straight A's. Because I know you're a good person. And sometimes we have to stop focusing on the dollar signs and the grades and the accolades and just be at peace with ourselves. So again, thank you so much for listening to this. I hope this totally touched you today, and I hope that you will take it to heart that becoming a leader is one of the best things that you can do. It's a best decision you can ever make. And it is a choice. You can choose to be a leader. You can choose to be a boss. But I promise you, leadership will get you so much further on your path to success. Thanks, ladies. Thanks for being part of the Ladies Kickin' Ass community. Cheers to all you badass women out there. Keep rocking your power, igniting your fire, and making waves in the service industry. If you loved today's episode, please do me a quick favor. Take a screenshot, post it, and tag us at Ladies Kickin' Ass. Be sure to include the link to your favorite episode. Your support in spreading the word means the world to us as we aim to empower even more women. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more kick-ass episodes. And don't forget, a 5-star review is the ultimate high five. Connect with us on social media. All the links are in the show notes. Thank you for being part of our tribe. Now go kick some serious ass, lady.